Hi there, I'm here at the Glasgow International Arena to surprise the Scottish Thistles, the Scottish netball team. I'm going to learn a wee bit about netball. Obviously, I think I'm going to be very good and hopefully learn a few skills. Let's go.
For the Scottish Thistles, it was supposed to be just another demanding day of preparation. Players arrived at Glasgow International Arena expecting a routine training session as they continued building toward one of the biggest moments in the team's history, the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games. Coaches moved from drill to drill, cameras quietly recorded promotional footage, and staff members carried on with what looked like an ordinary schedule. But behind the scenes, almost everyone knew something extraordinary was about to happen. Only one person remained completely unaware. Head coach Kath Tetley believed she was simply taking part in another media day. She had no idea that her players, together with Glasgow 2026 organisers, had spent weeks planning a surprise that would leave her speechless. Within minutes, one of Scotland's most recognisable faces would walk through the arena doors. And nothing about the day would ever feel ordinary again. The surprise centred around Sam Heughan, the beloved Scottish actor known around the world for bringing Jamie Fraser to life in Outlander. While millions recognise him as the fearless Highland warrior, those closest to him also know his genuine passion for supporting Scottish culture, Scottish sport, and the people who represent the country on the international stage. This time, his mission wasn't to promote a television series or attend a glamorous red carpet event. It was something much more personal. He was there to surprise a coach whose dedication had quietly inspired everyone around her. Kath Tetley had taken on one of the biggest challenges of her career when she accepted the opportunity to lead the Scottish Thistles. Leaving Australia behind in 2024, she moved thousands of miles away from family and friends to begin a completely new chapter in Scotland. The transition wasn't easy. Building a competitive international team requires far more than designing tactics or running training sessions. It demands trust, patience, and an enormous personal commitment. Day after day, Tetley poured her energy into creating a squad capable of competing with some of the strongest netball nations in the world. Her players admired her relentless work ethic. Her colleagues respected her leadership. But there was another side of Kath that almost everyone around the team knew well. She was an enormous Outlander fan. Since relocating to Scotland, she had embraced everything the country had to offer. Whenever family members came to visit, she eagerly introduced them to Scotland's breathtaking scenery, historic landmarks, and, of course, the famous filming locations made legendary by Outlander. Friends often joked that if she ever met Sam Heughan in person, she might completely forget she was supposed to be coaching an elite national team. None of them imagined that joke would soon become reality. Earlier that day, organisers casually interviewed Kath for what she assumed was another promotional video connected to the upcoming Commonwealth Games. The conversation seemed perfectly ordinary. She spoke warmly about her experiences living in Scotland, describing the country's dramatic landscapes, welcoming communities, and rich history. She reflected on how quickly Scotland had begun to feel like home and explained that her family had fallen in love with the country every time they came to visit. Naturally, the discussion turned to Outlander. Smiling, Kath admitted that the hit television series had become one of her family's favourite ways to experience Scottish history and culture. Then came one seemingly innocent question. If you could invite one famous Scot to support the Scottish Thistles during the Commonwealth Games, who would it be? There wasn't even a moment of hesitation. Sam Heughan, she replied instantly, laughing as she gave her answer. Around her, members of the production crew exchanged knowing smiles. They had been waiting for that exact response. What Kath didn't realize was that Sam was already inside the arena. Only moments later, players quietly gathered nearby while cameras subtly repositioned themselves. The atmosphere felt slightly different, although nothing seemed unusual enough to raise suspicion. Then a familiar voice echoed across the court. "Kath, I heard you might need another thistle." The coach froze. She slowly turned toward the entrance. Standing there with a broad smile was none other than Heughan himself. For several seconds, Kath simply stared in disbelief. She covered her face with both hands as laughter burst out around the arena. "Oh my goodness, I'm going to freak out," she managed to say, barely believing what she was seeing. The players erupted into cheers. Months of careful planning had finally paid off. Sam walked across the court with the relaxed confidence that has made him so beloved by fans around the world, greeting Kath with a warm embrace before joking that he was ready to join the squad if they needed another player. The ice was broken instantly. Instead of feeling like a carefully staged publicity appearance, the meeting felt wonderfully genuine. Everyone in the arena could sense it. Kath's shock quickly turned into uncontrollable laughter, while the players watched with enormous satisfaction as their coach experienced a moment she would never forget. For Captain Emily Nicol, the surprise represented much more than introducing her coach to a famous actor. It was the team's way of expressing gratitude. They had watched Kath sacrifice so much to guide the Scottish Thistles forward. She had left behind the familiarity of home, embraced an entirely different country, and devoted herself to helping Scotland build a stronger national programme. The players wanted her to know that none of those sacrifices had gone unnoticed. Meeting one of her heroes was simply the perfect way to say thank you. Sam immediately made everyone feel comfortable. Rather than remaining on the sidelines posing for photographs, he stepped directly onto the court and joined the training session. He laughed while attempting passing drills. He celebrated successful plays with genuine enthusiasm. He accepted plenty of playful teasing whenever a shot missed its target. Although he admitted he was still learning the finer details of netball, his willingness to throw himself into every activity instantly won over the entire squad. Within minutes, the line between Hollywood celebrity and elite athlete had disappeared. Instead, it simply felt like a group of proud Scots enjoying an unforgettable afternoon together. That atmosphere transformed the entire training session. Instead of focusing solely on tactics and preparation, the court became filled with laughter, encouragement, and shared stories. Players who normally carried the pressure of international competition suddenly found themselves smiling between drills, while coaches looked on with visible pride. It was a reminder that sport is about far more than winning matches. Sometimes, the moments that leave the greatest impact happen far away from the scoreboard.